What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol BA for Boeing Company. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, this is a stock that I watch semi-regularly over on the main channel. We talk about it often, and what you'll notice is that we had a big descending triangle here in place, never flushed the lows, and finally, we did break more firmly up and over the resistance trendline. You'll notice that we have highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and now instead of using this as a set of lower highs, that's obviously changed on today's session. So a big shift in tone here inside of Boeing, finally trying to get out of this significant downtrend, which it's been in for nearly a year, not the entire year, but a decent portion of it, at least in terms of recent history. So let's start by giving ourselves a little bit more of a daily roadmap, if you will, just pointing out obvious areas of support and resistance. Then we'll talk more nuance when we drill down to the 30-minute. I, of course, want to make note that we do have a large gap underneath us. That's from about 226.98, call it 227, down to 223.72, and then one more as well, basically from here, the low end of this consolidation at 217.22, down to the close here at 214.76. Zooming in a bit better so you can see that. So gap number one is here, and gap number two is right here. So what are we watching out for from the 30-minute perspective? Well, let's first note breaking resistance. So the most likely path and path of least resistance is still higher now that we are above that prior set of highs. Zooming in over here, what you'll notice is that we had, again, this is past tense, we had this nice sort of consolidation symmetrical triangle. It resolved to the upside, obviously, and on today's session, we're starting to see a bit of a flag forming, right? Something like this forming a bit of a daily, or excuse me, 30-minute bull flag. So let's start by mapping out these areas. Of course, the lower the flag, the higher the flag. If we get a breakout up and over 233.50, give or take, today's highs essentially, then what would be the target? Well, we have to look back at the daily time frame, and let's just point out the prior high, right? So I would be looking at this right around 240, noting that we saw resistance and resistance for that lower high, which led to a very, very nasty move lower from that section of the chart. So 240 is the upside target on a breakout from this 30-minute bull flag. Now, if we break down underneath this 231.50, then what do we have in store? Well, I would really be watching out for the break and retest. So that would be this here from the daily perspective, not quite at today's low, but at this 228.56 level, which we identified as a prior shelf of big resistance right in here. It's also I suppose it's not perfect right now, but it's very close to the daily 200 SMA, the green line on our chart. So that's what I would watch out for from the 30-minute perspective. Let's quickly take out the fibs just to double check, see what's going on with these. And would you look at that? The 38.2 was nearly respected perfectly, touch number 1 and 2. Whenever we have structure on the fibs so closely intertwined, we're going to go with structure, so no big deal if you call it 231.50, 231.25. Doesn't really matter. You're splitting hairs at that point. But any further consolidation here, looking for that breakout higher, could go sideways in that range. That would also be acceptable. And then a breakdown underneath, as we discussed. Look at this level first, and then, of course, the gap does come into play here inside of Boeing. As the chart sits, definitely looking for upside, especially noting we also had really solid volume coming in today as well. It's really going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.